Hello everybody, I hope this finds you well and thanks for taking the time to listen to this short video. I'm Heather Knox, Chief Executive here in NHS Lanarkshire, and I'm going to talk this week about the new COVID variant Omicron and the impact that that's having across Scotland at the moment, and just to remind people of the measures that they can take at home and at work to protect themselves. I'll start with the numbers, as I usually do. So in terms of new cases, yesterday within Lanarkshire we had 430 new cases, and 31 of those were the Omicron variant. We currently have 66 inpatients across the 3 hospitals within Lanarkshire, and that had been trending down quite nicely. So before the weekend, we were down as low as 56. That's now back up, as I say, by 10 to 66. So we're just keeping a weather eye on that, because it did feel as if we were coming out of what would have been the 4th wave of COVID for us in Lanarkshire. Our ICU bed occupancy at the moment for COVID patients is 7, and we have 4 patients on CPAP. We've got 4 care home outbreaks, and the vaccination programme continues well. 239,000 people have now been vaccinated and also received their booster. So if I move on now just to talk a bit about the impact of the new Omicron variant on our health services. This year we are asking all staff to pay particular attention to staying safe as we move into that period of Christmas and New Year. The emergence of the new Omicron variant, which did appear first in Lanarkshire within the west of Scotland, we think it's probably 3 times more transmissible at least than the Delta variant. And that means we have to be really careful as we move into this Christmas period. A number of our services have already been impacted, sadly, because of high numbers of staff members contracting COVID-19 or having to isolate as a result of being a close contact of someone who has been identified as a case. Unfortunately, there are a number of examples where that has occurred as a result of staff parties. Our local authority colleagues are also managing a rise in COVID-19 cases amongst people who attend schools. And that again is resulting in teachers and pupils having to self-isolate. And that's putting more pressure on our young people. And again, they're losing out on their education. The current national guidance around the new variant is that we need a 10-day isolation period since the last contact. So even if the individual has had a full course of vaccination, is asymptomatic and has a negative PCR test result, they still have to isolate for that period. This is going to have a significant impact on our workforce, and we are already challenged with our workforce. Therefore, if you do wish to celebrate the festive season with colleagues, we would ask you to consider how you can do this and enjoy yourself, but while minimising the impact and the risk of COVID infection, particularly given the situation in Lanarkshire. So please help us to minimise the further spread of COVID. So all asymptomatic staff are already encouraged to do that 2 weekly test. So please carry on doing that. And in particular, please take a lateral flow test before you socialise. Secondly, don't attend any social events if you or someone you live with has tested positive for COVID-19, whether it's the Delta variant or the Omicron variant. Speak to your colleagues and friends about the possibility of postponing any parties. It's actually quite nice to have a party in January or the new year. I've done it lots of times for other reasons. So it's not the end of the world to postpone something for a few months if it helps with the spread of Omicron. Please limit the number of social contacts you have, especially those who may be vulnerable, and there will be additional guidance being issued on how we can protect those most vulnerable in our society over the next few weeks. Consider having online parties or meeting in small groups over this period. And remember that if you do meet outside, I appreciate that might be more difficult this time of year given the weather, it's much less risky. Remember to wear a face covering in line with guidance at all times, and even if you're meeting inside, please remember to open the windows periodically because that just helps with ventilation. If you've not yet had your 2 doses of the vaccine, please arrange to be vaccinated. Or if you've had 2 doses and you need your booster, please make sure that you get your booster as soon as you possibly are available to do so. This will help us to minimise the risk to everybody, both at home and in the workplace. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me.